Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our Sunday stream. Hope you're doing good today. You have your teas and pencils and pens and everything. Good morning, Studio and Tea, Schmillicopter, Nervin, Pixel Props. Great to see you all guys here. Schmillicopter says, I've never used Discord. Do I need to join? What's happening there? I can show you what's happening there. Basically, it's, let's say, we got a new image from Mr. That Onion, or Mrs. Just from That Onion, which looks pretty cool. I think it's the Necromancer from Diablo. I really like this, like the little textures on the, like the shading textures. But in general, that's like, it's just a channel where we have some, I don't know, potentially general conversations and maybe some art feedback, or just like you can share your art there. You can, I don't know, we can discuss streams there, or just share stuff for inspiration, you know. That's what it is for, at least. Currently, I'm kind of attending it more or less only on Sundays, because it's also new to me, so I'm really not used to it. But maybe eventually. Anyway. I will glue this masking tape to the sides of this paper because it starts wobbling because I put so much. It's getting kind of like to the end, towards the end of the pack, so it's getting wobbly because it's a very cheap piece of paper. So I will just do it quickly, and in the meantime I can tell you what we're gonna be drawing today, which is a fantasy treasure island, as you can see in the reference list on the bottom left. Oops. Yeah, so we're gonna be drawing kind of like a fantasy island map. Good morning, Solar Fun. Welcome. So this topic was brought up by, I think, Schmillicopter a few streams ago, that we draw cities but never kind of draw maps, and maybe it's a good idea to draw a map, and that's what we're exploring today. Also, I think my iPad screen share just disconnected for some reason. Let's try this again. If it keeps disconnecting, I will just disconnect it completely. But if you want access to the stream references that I tried to gather before the stream, you can just type !refs in the chat and you will get a link. But I heard Nervin also suggested a map of a tropical island a while ago. True. It's been brewing on stream for a while now. Everyone wants a map. And I bet since Pixel Props is doing miniatures, he is also probably fond of maps. So we have our working surface, kind of. Let's do the other side as well. But in the meantime, we can think of what kind of, you know, fantasy island we want to create. Maps can be fun. They sometimes are. So the island location in the on the globe matters here, because that will kind of determine how many, like if there will be snow there, or if it's gonna be what kind of trees gonna be growing there, if it's gonna have a desert or not. It actually looks pretty cool. I mean, I know that this masking tape ruins the paper, so when I will remove it, it will tear the whole painting up, but for now I think that's okay. Let's write the topic of the stream in the corner, as we always do. Fantasy Island map. And the most important word is the map. Alright. So let's start thinking. I mean, it's kind of too early to start thinking. Hey, that onion, welcome to the stream. I just literally a few minutes ago I just showed your new submission in the Discord channel, the Necromancer. Looks really cool. I really like the shading, like those little scratches and dots in the corners. I've done so much more to it since. You can share it again. I can share it on stream if you upload it to Discord. But in the meantime, let's think about the island. So I'm thinking of covering this whole thing as a map. Maybe like not completely to the sides, but maybe like something. Whoops, something this size could be good. And I'm using this carpenter's trick to make kinda ish parallel lines to the side when you're just like holding it with your pinky or side of your arm, holding this side of the paper. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's see, what did you do here? Okay, that's the first one, I think. Oh, you added the armor and the neck and the arm. Are you planning on like making the full sort of pose, like the bust of a necromancer? I like this shade. It kind of brings out the lighting, this shadow on the horn. Keep it up, man. Really cool sketches. For some reason I almost never do black and white sketches. When I'm drawing digitally, it's usually just some colorful messes like this, you know. Oh, I think my iPad screen share froze again. Can you stop freezing, please? All right, let's get back to Pinterest then. All right. Is it streaming again? Yes. All right. How is everybody? That's a good question. How is everybody doing? All right. Let's think of our island here. It could be like, it doesn't really matter what shape it is because it's out of our heads, but I think it should occupy the most space on the map because we don't have that much space anyway. Don't know yet how we'll handle the rest of the body. I might not do legs at all. Yeah, it could be like a bust of a necromancer. If you add some like this sickly green background to it, or like some effects on the background. That might look very cool. Alright, so we have our general shape of the island. Is it even visible on the stream? Kinda. I don't want to draw too thickly because we'll need to remove most of it anyway. Alright, so when we have general shape, we can start adding like bays and all that sort of stuff. So maybe like here will be a bay. We can also add some like fjords and that kind of stuff, you know, these like very uneven parts of the island shore. And sometimes they would have like little islands around it. We can add that as well. Here will be some sort of like a legend, I think. And maybe here will be like a name of the island or some sort of like a location or whatnot. Maybe here we can add this rows of winds or on the bottom. So we're kind of like planning ahead a little bit. We can add the border later here with some measurements to, you know, find the proper place with, you know, these like notches. What are they called? Longitudes and latitudes? I think that's the proper term for it. A compass to show the directions in one of the corners. Yeah, this one. This will be this like a rows of windrows, I think it's called, right? This kind of stuff. I think that's what you mean, right? All right, I think we need some like an archipelago of some sorts. Maybe there is like part of an island here that goes into the sea as a peninsula, and then continues as like large archipelago of smaller islands. Saw that after I wrote it. No worries. All ideas are welcome. What are you drawing today along Schmelicopter? You always draw something kind of unexpected. Either bears or some weird stuff. Yeah, so there could be like this archipelago maybe with some, it looks like no, it doesn't look like the map of Stockholm, but it reminds me of Stockholm a little bit because there are so many islands there. And they're probably gonna be like a river exiting this place, maybe like here. We can add just random weird stuff. Yeah, sometimes you draw not really weird, but really unexpected things. Compass rose. Could be compass rose. In Russian it's called the rose of winds, which kind of makes sense because these are all wind directions for sailors. Let's add some little lakes here and there. We can have another river going here. The question always is to which scale we're drawing it, you know, like we can draw cities here like this, or we can draw them as just little dots and then it would be almost invisible. I'm thinking in the direction of maybe drawing some of the highlights with this style, like, you know, if there is a big capital city here, we can draw it big. And if it's a small village, we can just leave it as a dot maybe. X marks the treasure. Nice. That's a good idea for the treasure. We can also include like few of the bigger things. Maybe there is like a ruin site somewhere here, like a capital here, something like a, I don't know, maybe like a temple or shrine of some sorts there. Could be like a lighthouse on one of the islands, maybe like on this one. I'm drawing a cozy European street that I started during last stream. Nice. Cozy European street. But last stream we were drawing a Chinese city. A shipwreck. Yeah, we need a shipwreck somewhere here maybe, because here could be like this rocky cliffs. What else do we need? So maybe let's just mark here will be like a city icon. Here is maybe like a triangular temple of some sorts. I don't know, maybe not triangular. A shipwreck here. Something like this, I guess. Alright, iPad doesn't want to collaborate with us today. There will be a lighthouse. What else did we have? X marking the treasure. The treasure, where do we put the treasure? Maybe like here somewhere. There we have the treasure. What else? What else? What else? Maybe we can add some mountains, like in the region where the rivers start, which would make sense because rivers are usually flowing according to gravity. Usually, not always, obviously, but most of the times they use gravity for their advantage. Maybe here could be like a volcano of some sorts. What do you think about volcano? I think volcano is a good idea. Could be a volcano with like a cave on the side or something like that. And a lava river. Sorry. A red dot, you're here. Sure. GPS tracking. We can add this like Apple Maps beacon. You know, you're facing this way. Alright, we need kind of a city here, I think. Maybe like a big city with a different icon or like a different kind of structure. Maybe like a, I don't know, some sort of fortress or a castle. There could be roads between the cities or like between the temples. Maybe this is like there could be also a cool bridge here or something like that. Or maybe a broken bridge. Could be A broken bridge. Tentacles in the sea. Oh yeah, that's good. Maybe, or also, you know, they often use this kind of fish of different sorts. Sometimes it's like a whale, sometimes it's some sort of like a sea creature. Some sort of like a weird fish-like thing. Maybe like an anglerfish. Yeah, anglerfish is a good addition, I think. Broken bridge, that's my thought. Yeah, broken bridge is a good idea, I think. Maybe it's like an old stone bridge with these like arches, and it's been broken. Something like that. We need to add some more mountains here then, I guess. They can, I think they can stick out from the sides of the island to kind of indicate their heights. Enchanted Forest. Wait, tentacles first. Maybe there is like a little tentacle here. Enchanted Tentacle Forest. That's a tentacle overkill, guys. I mean, it could be a tentacle island. You never know. There could be this like a forest here. Maybe there is another forest somewhere here. Here could be like a desert-like terrain, maybe, because it's, I don't know, because maybe the winds are too strong from the sea, so they blow away all the trees. Can be a big lake here. And a swamp. Okay. Swamp we can easily do. Swamp, we do need a swamp. We don't need this Apple Maps marker. But the swamp, yeah, I think the swamps are usually like these lines on the map with some grass sticking out of it. So here could be like a swampy area that leads to that bridge. But also there is no road leading to the bridge, I think. No, wait, I'm mixing up roads and rivers now. Great job. That map got pretty wild real fast. Yeah, that's the power of our collective consciousness. We can make everything quite wild. Okay, so here will be another forest. Here will be swamp. Maybe another forest. Whoops. I lost my pencil. Pencil lead fell out. Not a big deal. There could be another like little village or city in the middle. And here will be the Enchanted Forest with like a huge pine tree in the middle or something like that. Like in the game Northgard, where you can mine more wood in that forest because there is a huge tree. Aha, today all traditional map music. We got really lucky with music today. It's still the same playlist, still on random, but I must say we got quite lucky with the soundtrack. There should be a lonely hermit hut A lonely hermit hut can be somewhere in the mountains, I feel like. Alright, I think we have enough things on the map to draw. And I feel like it's quite a good sketch to just place stuff around and see if it fits. We probably can just go straight ahead and start inking. Which is a little bit scary for some reason. I kind of don't know where to begin though. I think I'll start with this ship. Let's make sure it has like a horizontal line where it sinks. I think it's a good idea to start drawing from the foreground to the background, even though we're having like a top-down view. We still have some elements intersecting, so probably would be easier to draw first the foreground. For some reason I always hold the paper like this. Does anybody else have this problem? I mean, it's not really a problem, but it's kind of weird. Maybe it gives me some subconscious confidence, you know, like, oh, that's a cool drawing. Come on, you can do it. I think the absolute final step should be to sign it with the year when the map was painted. That's a good idea. Try to not to forget it. Okay, let's put it somewhere. When the map was painted. I do that sometimes too. Yeah, I think it's maybe like a subconscious way to boost your confidence. Let's see if we can get the iPad again. I feel like those references help a little bit. Maybe you can also add location names on the ribbons or something. Yeah, that's a good idea. I need to leave some space for that. And I will need your help with coming up with names for these things. Since it seems like a joint effort today. This could be, well, do we need to sign the volcano? Maybe, yeah. Maybe volcano can also have a cool name. The bridge doesn't need to have a name, but maybe the little village here can have a little name. Lighthouse McLight face. We can name everything like that. It will be a fantasy island Mac Island face. Just add some waves here and there. A very sad looking flag, because it's a shipwreck after all. Maybe some wooden texture. A little bit. just to indicate it. Yeah, I don't know how the ships work. They need to have these kind of rope ladders, right? To be considered a ship. Okay. Shipwreck ship face is done. Maybe. Kinda. Alright. I think maybe we should come up with names before the rest. Because then I can draw these ribbons. And draw everything behind them, kind of. All right, we have a name for lighthouse, Lightface. Do we have any other ideas? I don't say that Lightface is a bad idea in itself, but just opening it up for discussion, you know. Maybe I'll draw the Lightface first. Should have like a little house attached. Lighthouse needs a house to be attached to it, of course. Bob. I always name things Bob. Do you think they're all Bobs? It's a Bob Island? Siemens release. No, don't. Alright, good call. We should strive for maximum epicness and also keep it short. Bob. Bob is short. Bob is lacking some epicness though. Hey, thanks for following Unzipoznatic. Unzipoznatic. Bob is epic. Okay. Can we have Bob House? Enchanted Forest. Bobontains. Okay. I see where you go with these guys. Bobontains. Okay, let's call this Bob's Lighthouse. There was a Bob who was living in the lighthouse. It sounds bubblicious. Broken Bobridge. In the sea, there is a scary sea bobster. Yeah, it sounds more like a lobster though. The Volcano and the mountains. Let's just do these little ribbons there. Is it in the sea or just bobbing along on the surface? It's definitely bobbing along, it seems like, because you know this island is full of bobs. It's an island of bobs. Maximum epicness of the Bob Island. Usually lighthouses are painted like zebras. But red. We can also add like a light from the lighthouse. The Isle of Bob. I'm so happy right now. The dream comes true. A whole stream on the topic of bobs. Don't even think I know any bobs personally. I know one Bob actually. And for some reason, Bob is short for Robert, you know, that always bothered me. Like, why is Robert a Bob? Like, how does that work? Like, who came up with Bob for Robert? Like, where is the logic there? There are, and Peggy is short for, yeah. Why? Peggy is short for Margaret. Like, there is even no P there. How is that Peggy? I mean, in Russian we also make short words, short names from like long names, and sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense, but at least there are some syllables that you can recognize. You know, like Alexander is Sasha, which blows mind for a few Europeans that I've met. But, you know, there is at least Sa in Alexander, so you can kind of imagine how it came to be. What was short for George? I'm sure it had one too. George, there was something weird for George. Can't remember either. Joe? No, Joe. I think Joe is a different name. It sounds like George, but it's a different one. Alright, we're getting closer to our city here. And the Enchanted Forest. The Tale of Bob and the Enchanted Forest. My name is Nina, and I think that is short for something in other languages. In Russia, Nina is a regular name with no short version. I think originally in Russian, Ninel was the full name for Nina. Or at least it's one of the potential versions. My grandmother's sister was Ninel, but nobody called her Nina actually. Names are confusing. And yeah, if you're interested what's playing on stream, you can, I think down under the stream there is a blog currently playing on Spotify. You can just take a look there. Antonia, I've heard, could be shortened down to Nina. Yeah, and there is a name Antonina, which is like a female version of Anton. And sometimes it's shortened to Nina. My mom's name isn't Tanina, she's Tonya for short. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can come up with like kind of whatever you want to shorten up the name. Like Antonina can be Tonya, can be Nina, can be Auntie. I don't know. It is hilarious since my parents named me Nina and my brother got the name Anton. Huh. Did you ever talk to your parents about that? If they had like specific name in mind and they couldn't decide? Or maybe they wanted you to unite for like a superhero team. Anton and Nina working together as one because it's one name. Then the mountains at some point should turn into hills. Superhero team, I like that. Yeah, Avengers Unite or whatever it was. I think since I'm moving my page so much, my mountains kind of point into different directions, but maybe that's not a bad thing for the mountains. Then we have a little sister and she's called Jenny, totally unrelated to the superhero team. She can be your butler. Every superhero team needs like an Alfred, you know. Every Batman and Robin needs an Alfred, so she can be your Alfred. Alright, we have Bob's Lighthouse. How about Enchanted Forest? Should it be also called Bob's Enchanted Forest? Or can we come up with a better name? There could be like a ridge that goes through the mountains. Don't know what it means. Map by Bob Bobbington. Bobina's Enchanted Forest. Babina in Russian is like a. I think you would spell it with A, like Babina, and it's like a big moat of something. Like how? Damn it! How do you describe Babina? It's like a huge thing of something. I think that's a way to describe Babina. Alright, I will call this just Enchanted Forest. We already have Bob's Lighthouse. I can allow one more Bob related thing on the map. Babina would work better for the mountains there. Yeah, exactly. Babina Mountains or like a Babina Ridge. You know, something like that. Babini is a place in India. Babini is Katushka. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what's Katushka in Russian, in English. It's, you know, like these if you have a mode of string, you know, like this thing, like, and you use it for sewing stuff, like this is a small thing. If you increase it to, you know, these construction work cables that are on it, this will be a bobina, a spool. Is it the word spool? Let's draw some rocks flying out of the volcano, because that's how volcanoes work. It looks a little bit like a red ruin or something like that, with all these, with this cave on the side. A spool of thread, I think so. In English it's also bobbing. Bobbing the thread on a spool. Okay, we're it's an education channel now. Learning English together. The toughest part of the mountains, I think, is to make them kind of less repeating. Let's just call it all Bob and it will be just fine. No. I have to refuse the offer. Okay. Bob's Enchanted Forest, I don't know. Doesn't sound too epic. Bob's Lighthouse, I can, you know, I can understand. Bobushka. I heard it is an old Bob. What's an old Bob? This tree? And it sounds good, okay. Old Bob sounds more like a tavern name. Okay. I'm writing down Old Bob. You made it happen, guys. Maybe we'll call it the Old Bob because it's a tree. And the volcano is a fire bob. Taco Bob. Rocky Bob. Oh yeah, we can also name the like pieces of land, you know, with this script across it. But I think that might come later because it's kind of should go on top of everything, I think. Okay, let's draw the pine tree here. There is an old Bob. Bobillion. Bob's Creek, Bob Hill, and Bob Canyon. Babylon is a good name. We can name one of the cities Babylon, I think. And Bob's Creek sounds also decent for like a creek. Which city will be Babylon? The west or the east? Easy. East Babylon, West East Babylon, West Babylon. Oh no. What did I do? I unleashed the Bob wrath upon the stream. You're genius. The West Babylon, the East Babylon. No, I think one can be Babylon. The other should be like a San Cisco or something. St. Bobsburg. I can imagine that, like, there was one sailor. The island was uninhabited. There was one sailor who crashed his ship, and then just was living under the tree for a little bit, and then founded like Babylon from just his own hut. And then more people came, and they called his old place where he used to live the Old Bob Tree. And then the Babylon and Bob's Lighthouse, because he crashed his ship and didn't want the others to crash theirs. That makes sense. It's just his island. And his name was Jack. Plot twist. Yeah. Bob was his wife. He got Bob wrecked. on his Bob ship. His ship can also be named Bob. The name of the ship was Bob. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a little Bob name on the ship. He got insane and he named everything after himself. After his ship that got wrecked. Let's make the. How do you draw the? What's the name? The deserts on the maps. Oh, wait. Why isn't it streaming the right thing? Ah, there it is. So he named everything on the island in honor of his ship. What? Maybe he just got crazy, you know. Let's not jump into conclusions. I think I will draw the forests like from the side view a little bit. You know, I will have these tree trunks sticking out at the bottom. Something like this, I guess. Makes sense. And that's him who lives in that lonely hut now. True. So it's Bob's hut. No, Jack's hut. It would be funny if the ship name was Bob and the captain's name was like Aragorn or something, you know, epic and cool, but he named everything Bob. I think I'll draw the bridge next, maybe. Kinda don't know from which perspective to draw this bridge. Oh, Robert. Yeah. Epic name like Aragorn or Robert. Does it look like a broken bridge? Not sure. Maybe if I remove the pencil marks. Time to get dressed for today. Be right back. Have fun? I guess. For some reason, people usually don't like say have fun to these mundane things like dressing or going to the bathroom or something, but it doesn't mean that people can't have fun there, you know. Let's call this a bridge, I think. Let's draw Bob's hut. Of course it needs like a round window and round door. Yeah, it sounds like you have to have time all the time, have fun all the time then. You don't have to. But I think it's important to not neglect it if it happens. I think we just often miss the opportunities to feel a little bit less serious. I think I will make rivers like thicker than they were in the pencil, because then you can add color to them with watercolors, I guess. And that's not true, and that's okay not to have fun. It is, yeah. Doesn't mean you have to though. You're right. Yesterday I put on one sock that turned out to have holes in it at the toes, but I was too stubborn and lazy to change it. Today I made sure to pick socks with no extra holes. Sweet. That's great news, Studio NT. I'm glad you overcame the sock problem. Let's call this city something else. Maybe not Babylon. Bobsburg? Bobsburg. Sounds like the aristocratic family, the Habsburgs, the royal family of a lot of European countries. Something like this. Yeah, Bobsburg. Okay, let's go with Bobsburg. We can change the names in post-production, right? Something like that, maybe. Guess these need some windows. And some chimneys. Something like that, maybe. I wanted to have a road here actually. To this little village. It also can be a short name of some sorts. I hope no one writes Bob right now in the chat for this little village. A road to Babylon. Bobbing Town. I finished ordering stuff in Amazon. Time to spam the chat. Welcome to the chat, Nerman. We're going crazy here on Bob. That's the only thing we're talking about. Bobbing Town won't fit in this little. What have you been hoarding? That's a good question. There will be like a temple of some sorts, of some bobs. I don't know, does it look like a temple? Not really. Maybe it just needs some crystals hanging somewhere. Who knows? I bought a pastel color package from Posca Pens and a tiny yogurt trail man. Perhaps the little tiny town could be named Bo. To be real, Bob. And Bo in Swedish means to leave. That's a good name for all the small villages on the island. Is the old Bob a tree? Yes, the old Bob is a big tree under which the Robert captain was living. Bob. That's what children say when they're hurt, right? At least in Russia, because it comes from the word больно, which means it hurts. Alright, what else do we need? We need more rivers. I feel like I neglected some of them. There is this river that goes through the swamp. And one part of it goes into the mountains. To the Bob's Volcano. Volcano also needs a name. And maybe it's not Bob this time. Who knows? Nervin, since you wanted to spam the chat, can you come up with a name for the volcano? This and then another forest here. Maybe this time it's gonna be a pine tree forest. It's more spiky usually. Because it's on the north part of the island, I guess it would make sense. Bobplosion. Bobom? Bobom. I like Bobom without B at the end. Bobom. Because that's the sound that the volcano made when the guy reached the island. Sounds like he's singing a quarter German, but I don't think that's the actual lyrics. Alright, so we need, oh, I forgot the swamp kind of. And there is a bridge across nothing. I think I forgot a river here. Maybe it could be like a dry river that used to float here but doesn't float anymore. Because maybe the river just got sucked into the swamp and that's why it's dry now? I'm not sure that's how swamps work. Let's bomb 1, 2, 3. Cue music. Yeah, that's how the island greeted our captain. Let's add some snow on the mountains. I mean, currently they're all covered in snow because they're white paper, but we need to separate some parts. No, not sure this pine tree forest really reads like a pine tree forest, but I tried. Just add some grass indications here and there. This will be sand dunes, so maybe I just Google dunes map. Nope. Map drawing. Maybe map drawing. Nope, not really. Alright, then we'll just do, how do we do it? I guess we'll just do these things. Just to kind of show that it's maybe sand dunes. Don't know if it makes sense. Maybe not much. Alright, I say we finish Babylon and take a short break. What kind of castle could be here? Couldn't really be a castle because it was just built by one man. But maybe some sort of like a towering structure. Something. I have now mended the sock from yesterday. Did you close all the holes, or did you leave a few for like legs or feet? That was in Scott Pilgrim, right? Which was left the one at the top. It's hard to understand where is the top if there are so many holes. What was in Scott Pilgrim? Helicopter. Paniculus. Oh, map. Hello, I'm new here, but I saw T is watching your stream, so I followed. T knows the good stuff. Hey, thank you for joining and following. There is the sheep. Thanks, Paniculus. Welcome to the stream. Maybe there will be like a wall around this, around Babylon. With just some house roofs sticking out from there. With chimneys, of course. There could be like the gates here. maybe this is like a watching tower on the side. Oh, hi Penny, welcome. This stream is epic. Yeah, it's so epic. We are naming everything Bob related. That's how great we are with coming up with epic fantasy names. Everything is Bob. I think there is a tabletop game which is called like Everybody's Someone. Don't remember who that was. But no, was it Simon? No. So that's a different one. This is where all the bobbiness happens. Yeah, student, you brought a lot of people to the stream. I tend to think that it's all the or at least half of the Sweden. Alright, I think we're kind of done with the main map. We still have some stuff to do around it, and we still have watercoloring to do. But I want to get rid of these pencil marks and see how the map looks without it, and then maybe take a couple of minute break to just get some more tea or coffee. What say you guys? Tea break? It's a really good eraser from Muji. It's like it's soft and doesn't really destroy anything except of pencil. Really like it. Oh, I saw in one YouTube video people use brushes to get rid of the pencil marks. I will do that too. So you do maps, right? That's awesome. Not well, I do what whatever comes to mind kind of. And the map was requested by Nervin and Schmidtcopter, our regular viewers, for a bit. And map sounded like a good idea, so that's why I did the map. Oh wait, nope, that's the wrong one. Let's paste it here. Okay. That I can't change the timer, but I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, except of making tea and going to the bathroom. Okay, see you soon. Alright, I'm back. I completely forgot I even have this screen for taking a break. I can just put this thing here. Like that. That would be the easiest way to do it. But doesn't matter. Alright. Where were we? We were drawing the map, and we have the map. We need some tentacles, we need a sea creature, and we need the windrows. Alright, let's share Studio NT's socks first, just real quick. Dead sock, fixing, fixed. Sock is resurrected. Nice. It's important to share art, you know, like socks. Alright, tentacle time. Alright, that's one tentacle. We need one more kind of sticking that way. Reaching out for help. Would be funny if all those monsters in the sea, they're actually just trying to reach out for help. Maybe they get stuck somewhere, but they're immortal, so they can't die, and they just sit there under the sea trying to get out. So taking some photos of the storm that seems to come rolling in. Ooh. Storm. Storms are often really pretty, especially on the north, I think. Those dark gray low skies. When I got up this morning, it was sunny and nice, and I thought it would be a wonderful day. Now 2 hours later, it is super windy and really dark clouds are rolling in. Hey, sorry I distracted you with the stream. Maybe I could have walked out for a couple of hours to enjoy the sun. And in the second the rain started to hit, oh, so the rain has come. She'll stay away from me. Where do you live, Penny Cruz? Are you also from Sweden? I feel like everyone that comes from Studio NT is from Sweden, one way or another. Looks super nice. You're really looking forward to go out after this stream. I'm T's neighbor. I'm from Germany. Huh, so you do live in Sweden. Wait, if you're a neighbor of Student T, then you can also see the rain coming. That looks like a decent monster fish. It looks a little bit furry. Yeah, I'm sitting right in front of a big window here, and it does look super sunny for now, but here in the Netherlands the weather can also change within a few hours quite quickly. I guess like everywhere, but funny that sometimes in the morning you plan to spend your day one way and then a couple of hours later you get the rain. Ah, you live in Germany. Germany is under Sweden. Between Sweden and Denmark is Denmark. Wait a second. That doesn't make sense. Between Sweden and Denmark is Denmark. You're trying to trick me in geography. It's not gonna work. Between Germany and Sweden is Denmark. Yeah. Sounds more like that. Or, I don't know, maybe I just missed some news and they switched something. How much coffee have you had today? So you're like a geographical neighbor. But then we're also neighbors because I live in the Netherlands. So Sweden, Germany, and Netherlands. We're all country neighbors, more or less. Yeah, Northern Europe unite. Don't remember if I asked where that onion is from. I remember we had some viewers from I think Chile and some viewers from the United States, but for them this time is kinda when they're going to bed already or just wake up, depending on the country, I guess. Alright, we're missing the name for this temple. And I don't really want to call it Temple of Bobs, but I will if that's what we go for. Okay, let's call it Bob's Temple. Temple of Bobs? Temple of Bobs. Alright, there is a Temple of Bobs. Let's indicate some stone structure here for a better temple look, I guess. Last stream we had an idea to make this bakery project, you know, with bakeries or some kind of food production. Maybe like, I don't know, winery or something like that from different cultures, you know, maybe like a ancient Roman one, Middle European one, Asian bakery, or I mean Chinese bakery, Japanese bakery, maybe like Mayan or something like that. Could be like a multi-stream project for different bakeries. I messed up the forest here a little bit. Let's fix it real soon before we move on. I mean, we already had a few bakeries, so I'm worried that it might be repetitive, but on the other hand, it's like learning different architectural styles might be fun. Bakeries sound amazing. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. And instead of pointing north, this compass should point at Bob. How about that? Didn't see that coming. Repetition and practice is good stuff, I've heard. True, you're not wrong here. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like people draw whatever they want anyway during the stream, and sometimes they don't at all, so it's kind of open topic anyway. So I guess I can just draw some bakeries. Just some grasslands here and there. This is wonderful. If you ever plan to sell this painting, let me know. I am interested. Which one? This one? The map? The map of Bob's? Okay, we need to add some waves. But we can't add them everywhere, and they shouldn't really be the same. Otherwise it would look dumb. You just really like the Bobs, don't you? Maybe we can draw some battle maps for like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. Would that be fun? I had that idea a few weeks ago to draw like a dungeon map. Maybe. Indeed I do, and the art, so a combination is glorious. Thanks a lot, Studio NT. Alright, so to make water, I always think it's good to add like a few outlines around the shore to make it look like as if there are tides, you know? Not tights, like not the pants, but you know what I mean. But for that I need to make the main line a little thicker, I feel like, because I will lose the contour otherwise. And at the same time I can add some more details while doing this, like little, you know, fjords and all that stuff. Will help the island stand out from the paper a little bit better. And then we go into watercolor mode. Sigur Rós that is playing right now is an interesting band. They have an album and a few songs that they sing in non-existing language, which is basically made up of syllables by the Yonsei, what's the last name? Main singer. Which is pretty cool. Like the idea behind it for them was that like they didn't want to put this specific meaning in the song. It's more like for subjectivity, because you know, like words have very specific meanings, whereas music has kind of broader emotional attachment with people. So he sang a few songs and just made up language of syllables that sounds like a little bit of Icelandic, a little bit of English. I feel like that's an interesting approach. Yeah, and then they recorded a whole album of these nonsensical lyrics just to leave people room for interpretation by themselves. What? I was away for a few minutes and you're already selling your art? Yeah, you know, time moves quickly. You still can bid on it. My question is, where does this infamous Bob live? That's his hut. I think Schmelikopter suggested to put him in the hut because it's like a lonely hut. Kind of suiting for a Bob. Also, Bob is the ship, so I guess it's living at the bottom of the sea. Alright, I think we're kind of done with the islands. The spirit of Bob is everywhere. It's like spirit of Christmas. Now I will just add this like a thin squiggly line around the whole thing with some breaks, and then I will do the second time. Like the first time is kind of not really like a consistent line everywhere, but almost kinda. And then when you add the second line, you just make it less consistent, and sometimes I add the third line as well. Just for extra waves. And like, don't be afraid to make it not follow the coastline exactly, and somewhere it can get closer, somewhere further. Just kind of helps with the natural look, I think. Maybe here the line will be closer to the shore. Like, think from physics perspective. Like we see those lines usually when there are waves, and based on the way I will color it, like this line will be lighter because there is like sand closer to the sea surface. And here, since it's fjords, you have rocks, like rock cliffs that go directly into the deep into the sea, so you won't have it that much here. At least that's my thinking right now. Speaking of bands from Iceland, that's the second band from Iceland in a row. Arstidir. They're really nice. They have a lot of songs a cappella. They have really nice voices. What do I imagine? Why do I imagine him evil? Maybe that's because of Twin Peaks. So there should have been a cabin in the wood more than a hut, then maybe. True, though this island has more a fantasy feeling, not the mystery creepy one. We can add some mystery creepiness. I haven't watched Twin Peaks. Was Bob a character there? Still can't make myself watch Twin Peaks for some reason. Something like this, I guess, would do for the first layer of tides. Isle of Bob is what every sailor searches for, but only if you find. Yeah, let's call it Isle of Bob. Good call, that onion. That onion knows stuff. Isle of Bob. The secret of finding it is not to sail. You should only bob along with the waves. That's how he found it. That's why he named his ship Bob. To have more chances of finding it. Isle of Bob. I think this actually is a good exercise to not get caught up in like little details, you know. If you wanted to have a magical fantasy map and then all you can come up with is Bob, then just roll with it and have everything named Bob, and either create a story around that Bob, or you know, you can change it later if you want to. So I feel like that's kind of a good exercise in not getting attached. Now the next 15 streams will be details from the island. That's tempting. I always like this idea of drawing like step by step, but I think maybe that would be too much. We can always come back to it. And draw some more details. And now I'm adding like a second tide line around, but trying to make it thinner and with more gaps, so it's a little bit more kind of faint, let's put it this way. I want to create a D&D adventure on this island. It would be cool. The art of Bob, now on display in the Bobsburg Center of Art. Can be confusing with Bob Ross though. I think he is more popular than this yet. I mean, we can definitely create a bob movement to increase the chances. All right. Or maybe it is the same bob. Ooh. This is the Bob Ross Island. It's called clever marketing. Let's just make these landmarks stand out more. I mean, they will be painted, I think, differently. I mean, we'll see. You never know with watercolor what results you get, but my idea for now is to paint the things as they should be, not just a mess. On the other hand, like, there is this style of watercoloring which looks amazing, if you ask me. Like, this is really cool. He did not crash there, he had a happy little accident. There are no mistakes in sailing, only happy little accident. And sometimes crashes. And sea monsters. I think there is English saying, Bob's your uncle. But I don't know what it means. Yeah, the way of coloring is really cool. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, those gradients and like smooth transitions. Really nice. Panagia of Sintis. That's a more RPG name than Bobom. Something like this, I guess. But look at the results of that accident. Was a whole island and a society devoted to Bob. It could have a whole society living on the island. Like, if it's getting a little bit weird. But if you imagine in real life, like, you know, a sailor is traveling and then crashes on the island, there, you know, there might be some aborigines, what is it called, some local people living, or I don't know. I think there was an episode of Rick and Morty where the what was it the ex-boyfriend of Rick's granddaughter was, like, they found him in an alternative reality or something like that, where he made a whole, like, a cannibalistic incest society around himself. So maybe that's what Bob did. Although it kind of sounds more dark if you think about it, reality. But think we can turn to the watercolors and see where it brings us. I'll remove some more of these pencil marks around it. We can always add the frame later, right? There is no rush to add it now. I mean, we can colorize the frame as well, but I'm not sure about that yet. All right, let's start with water, I think, because it probably is the biggest surface area here. I think Nervin says colors, and I say yes. I'm adding water just because I want the watercolor to spread. That's why I'm trying to do it like water on water, but it's probably gonna dry by the time I get to this side, so I will have to water it again. And I haven't decided yet how messy I want to be with this, because lately I've been experimenting with more sketchy approach to watercolors, trying to like not get caught up in details that much. Start with water and then add colors. That's how you do watercolors. Yep, that sounds about right. All right, where is my trusty seashell? It actually fits with the topic this time. This what is it? Van Gogh watercolor for indigo is really nice color. Just gonna paint kind of solid on the outside and try to add more water towards the shore so it gets lighter. And later I can add even some yellow there to indicate the sand. Maybe I'll paint the fish with one layer at least. I will add another layer of watercolor anyway. So for now it's just like a very light sort of wash. I like Babylon. I think it's funny. Good thinking. I think Schmelikopter was the genius behind that name. The color choice on the maps is also really important because you can get so many different like look and feel kind of maps if you just go to the references, you know, or if you just search for, what was it, fantasy map, watercolor fantasy map. I know you can get all sorts of styles, like some of them are in sepia and or like Lord of the Rings style maps. Let's cover these tentacles as well. It's kind of important to have a lot of water in the beginning. That's why my paper is so wobbly. That's why I had to glue it together. I think I forgot to leave some space here for the legend. But maybe we don't need a legend because everything is written on the map anyway. Maybe we have some darker seas here because it's deeper. It's drying quite quickly, unfortunately, but I think we got it. Alright, let's just deepen some of the areas, I think. I can spray it again with water. Please. Ugh, now it's super wobbly. What did I do? I think these fish and tentacles, maybe they don't need their own colors in watercolor. Maybe they could just be these like hidden kind of Easter eggs. A giant sea monster, an Easter egg for a sailor. Don't think those are considered Easter eggs, but just trying to make the sea further from the shore a little bit darker, just to kind of bring it all together a little bit more. I feel like it will highlight the land better if the sea is darker. It's a Wild guess though, so let's see how it turns out. Some more depth in these areas as well. I think the wobbliness will disappear when it dries. I hope, but maybe not. If it doesn't matter really. I think you can use what is it, iron? Yeah, and an iron to heat it up and flatten it, but you know, I never really had a problem with that. Even with this cheap paper, I think it gets better after it dries. So. It will be alright. But I think also for that bakery plan that we discussed, might be cool to draw the bakers themselves, like, you know, the characters in their different outfits, like a Roman baker and I don't know, Mayan baker and all that stuff. So maybe we can also practice some character sketches, character design. I almost never do characters, so it's kind of gonna be a challenge for me. I think I only did one character on stream, or like one character, one animal or something like that. There was in September, I think, we had this stream with drawing a whole journey of a character. So there was like one stream was designing a character. His name was Carl. His name was Carl, which says a lot about our ability to come up with names. And his last name was Twinings because that's the T that I had in front of me. So there was a Carl Twinings, an adventurer who went like on, I think, on an air balloon across the sea. So like first we drew the character, then the second stream we did his ship, I think. So there was the hero, the journey, and the reward. These were the three streams we had. Yeah, Carl Twinings, you know, great name for an RPG character. Okay, let's add the rivers, I guess. Everything is wet on the outside though, so it's kind of tricky. Maybe it's not a great idea to add rivers right now because I will need to cover everything with green, but maybe they will stand out a little bit more because of this first layer of blue. We need not forget the red cross on the in dunes. Maybe first drawing the dunes. Let's see if we can get the right color for the sand. I'm too lazy. I have only one bottle for water, so my watercolors get kinda dirty quite quickly. Okay, let's see if this sand color works. Yeah, it's kinda sandy. Oh no, oh, there goes the blue. Where did the blue come from? I like this like watercolor look when you have some parts darker, some parts lighter, you know, these kind of uneven texture look. It's pretty cool. Let's add some green now. I think I want this green to be like blue green, kind of like the pine tree color. So I'm just mixing this like olive green with the indigo, and it always gives me this like super rich, amazing green color. You know. Let's just spread it around on the whole thing, and then I will darken the old Bob himself. And do the same to the other forest on the north of Babylon. Something like that, I guess. And there is another forest at the bottom. Let's just paint it while we're at it. We will need a different green for the fields, but I think it just needs to be a little bit more yellow, like sunlit grass color. And also we'll need some color for the mountains, which I'm not sure about yet. Maybe like a brownish tone or blackish. Still debating here. How about this for the fields? Also, I'm thinking about spraying a little bit so it bleeds better together. It's a bit dangerous when you already have some watercolor to put water on top, because then you see what happens. But in this case, that's kind of what we're looking for. The green fields, the green hills of Bobsburg. Theoretically, we can create like a D&D adventure on this map, and every stream play through some of the, like one of the places. But it's crazy. Too crazy of an idea. Alright, so the swamp here, first of all, let's add some of this grass color here as well. I think maybe it's gonna be all grass green here in between the road and the forest. Now again, I forgot to paint these forests here on the peninsula and on the islands as well. It doesn't have to be forest there though, so I think I'll add some of this grass color to it as well. And then I will add some sand color on the outside, or rock maybe. Haven't decided yet if it's like sandy beaches here or rock cliffs. Looks more like cliffs to me. What would be the swamp color? Maybe brownish? Like brownish green. It's either like dark brown, I think, or maybe a little bit blue. That's too much blue. Brownish green, yeah. Where is my sepia color? There it is. Looks like a good color for swamp. Maybe a little bit more green. And maybe a little bit more like yellowish, because the grass is dry there or something. But we can also add some of the hills here back in. Hills leading to the Bob's lonely house. We can create a challenge, draw Bob's hut or something like that. Memes are good and bad 7. Thank you for following and welcome to the stream. Alright, now let's do the mountains. I think there should be like brownish more than black. I do have some Payne's gray color, which will probably help. I think it's this one. Payne's gray is interesting. It's like, it's not black, but it's really dark. And it adds, I think, like this little dark blue tint to it a little bit. We don't have any source of light on the map yet. Like there is no direction of sun currently, which is okay. We can keep it kind of ambient occlusion illuminated, you know. But if we want, we can also add some shadows here and there. Trying not to paint the lava with black, because I did want to add lava here. Let's see. Something like that maybe. Can't really understand what I did here, if it's a piece of here, if it's the lake or if it's a tree or whatnot. Probably I need to add some more water to this. Just to blend the line between the different landscape parts. Don't want to be like a, don't want it to be a hard edge in the most cases, because you don't usually see a hard edge in real life between like a grassland and forest or something like that. With forests it's actually quite easy, because forests usually do have some sort of a border that's not really like a gradient from the forest to non-forest. Not sure if painting these islands brown would do them any good. Like maybe they need to be more sandy than this brown. Let's blend this stuff together a little bit with some dirty water. It's my traditional method of blending, just put dirty water on the paint. Alright, now maybe, yeah, I will add some kind of like a sand beach along the line, I think, along the coastline. Maybe make it a little bit more yellow. Something like this, I guess. I think it's still too saturated for rocks. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters that much. You know? We can draw them dark, we can draw them light. I think it's all gonna just kind of come together at the end. Doesn't matter really which colors you use. I feel like as long as you use the same palette, the colors would match together quite nicely. I mean, like if you're that's why I like having only few watercolors. You know, if you have only like 5, 6, I don't know, 10 watercolors, you're kind of forced to mix the colors from those, and you will inevitably get colors that fit together. You know, like if you use red and then you add, I don't know, some yellow to it to make orange, then this red and this orange, they will fit together because they have the common red color in them, you know. And I guess it's probably the same with, you know, like if you're painting forest and land with the same green, just with different like blue and yellow in different batches, then they will also look probably okay together because they will be sharing the same green, which is the problem when you have too many watercolors. Like if you have a set of, I don't know, 90, then like they sets, they're not designed in the way that all those colors fit together perfectly. I think like you can get muddy colors from mixing wrong green with the wrong, I don't know, yellow or blue. So less is more, I guess. Now we can take some, maybe some just yellow, and find a clean spot on this seashell. That's the only problem I have with this color palette. It's kind of small, but that's also fine. Don't usually use that many colors anyway. Let's just try to add some yellow here. Just tiny bits of yellow like on the shoreline. Let's see if it helps to create this beach look. If not, then we don't ruin much, I think. Not sure what kind of effect it creates, but I don't mind it. It doesn't look exactly like a beach, but I guess good enough. Alright, let's paint some of these objects, I think. Maybe with this smaller pen. Not pen, brush. Paintbrush. Let's get the red going. We have red here on the lighthouse. And we have a red cross on the map where Bob left his treasure. There you go. We also have probably orange tiled roofs. let's get those going. I wonder what type of treasure Bob would bury. That's a good question. Did he bury something that he found on the island so nobody else can find it? Or did he bury something that he had on his ship? That's a question. What was he transporting when he was bobbing on the waves? We don't know. Maybe he found another island before that and had like treasure from that island. And then decided to bury it here so it doesn't go to waste under the sea, kind of. Just little differences in red for more fun look. Maybe these little flags were also red. Who knows nowadays? Let's try to get that ship color. Surprisingly, good wood color turns from olive green and red. Like, I don't know. I feel like it gets this really nice warm reddish wood color. Depending on how much red you add, of course, but pretty nice color, I say. We can also paint with it the hut, Bob's hut. Okay, it looks like he has a hay roof. Hey, roof. Maybe like just general wooden color hut, and probably a red door because why not? The way I would do this village here, I think, is I would first add some like sepia or ochre on the bottom, just to indicate that there were a lot of people walking in that place, so there was no grass. And then on top of that I would just blob some roof colors. Like this, just some red stuff here and there. I think that works. Now for the city color, it should be kind of like grayish, because this one, the Babylon, is made out of stone, I think. So we need some blue, maybe some Payne's gray. We can draw a treasure chest with Bob's treasure next stream. And then maybe, I guess these houses can also be stone houses. Why not? We'll just make the front gates, front wall a little darker. Just for the sake of it, kind of. And maybe the houses get darker towards the bottom, just to indicate the shade, kind of. The layerness. Layering. That's a better word. These houses probably are just little wooden houses. Maybe I'll add this Fachwerk thingy. Is it an official name or is it just the German name? Fachwerk. Those houses with, like, white houses with dark wood kind of connections in between. Don't know how else to describe those. Maybe those two crystals are bright yellow. That's not bright yellow. I don't know, I've never heard it, but also I don't live in Germany. We have some viewers from Germany, maybe they know. But if you haven't heard that word, that probably could mean that it's not an official term. Let's add a little bit of blue to the snow on the mountains. Just like a hint. So it's not just white paper there. Or that I'm not very interested in house names. Or that, yeah. Alright, let's paint that lava stream, I think. I feel like if I mix that stuff on the paper, it gets more diverse colors, kind of, because it's not mixed yet. You know what I mean? That kind of looks like an explosion, a little bit. We'll darken the bob a little bit. I feel like I need to darken the forests as well, because they're too similar to the grassland around them. Maybe I can just darken them like on the border between the forest and the grassland. Okay. some more coloration to this forest as well then. That now kind of looks more like a bunch of trees. Is that Nervin in the background doing the kitchen noises? Yes, it is. How did you know? Because she got silent in the chat and suddenly the noises started. Yeah, I didn't know what's going there in the kitchen. Could be anything. But hopefully it's something to munch. I'm getting hungry. Food is important. Yeah, we're almost done here. We've been online for 2 hours 40 minutes. Think we're getting close to an end point of this map. I will paint this bridge and fill in the blanks, and I think we're gonna call it a stream. So while we're wrapping things up, maybe we can think about what to paint next stream. Should we start with the bakery stuff? With the bakery from different cultures project. Oops. We haven't had breakfast yet. Pancakes in watercolor. No, pancakes in the plate. Bakery in the watercolor. Pancakes should be in the belly. Not sure if it's readable as a bridge, but we have what we have. But you did a bakery already. We did a bakery, but only like a European bakery. Maybe it would be fun to draw, or maybe not necessarily bakery. It could be just like a. I just want to have something. Can make paper pancakes. That sounds easy. I have a stack of paper pancakes right here. It's just rectangular pancakes. But what I mean with the bakery is that I like the idea of having some, you know, a common building that is probably could be in all cultures. You can just draw it in different cultures and just to have it kind of, I don't know, just as an idea. That's why I thought maybe bakery is good, because kind of every culture had some sort of bread. Some had like flat breads, some had, I don't know, corn breads, whatever, but everybody's attached to some sort of bread. So I thought maybe this could be like a good common topic for different cultures, but maybe not. Maybe it should be instead like a wine production. Sounds cool. Yeah, it doesn't, maybe it should be just like a, I don't know, a food place. So in one place it could be a bakery, in another place it could be like a, I don't know, a falafel place or something. Or like a quesadilla making windmill quesadilla press. I don't know. Just want to make this mountain stand out a little bit more. Maybe I should create like a list of ideas and then just open it for votes, and then we decide what we draw next stream. Like just based on anonymous votes. Alright, now we need to paint this wind thing that always points Bobth. That's like north, but for Bob. Let's paint this thing as well. Just some old paper color, I guess. All right, and this windrose. Let's. I think some of it should be maybe red for more fun. Like some of those spikes. Maybe just this side. Or maybe each second one. Something like this, maybe. Looks a little bit like a swastika. Let's try to solve this. Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, I think. Wait, no. It's not over yet. I think we need some shade for the monster creatures and some light for the lighthouse. Something like this. I think it kind of shines now, which is great. But the monster creatures need just a faint second layer of maybe like this greenish blue. Maybe this anglerfish needs also some light on top of her fishing rod. I guess that looks kind of like shining. There she is. Scary sea creature. And of course the tentacles, but they need to be a little bit reddish, I think. Purple tentacles sounds like a good idea to me. All right. I think with that we kind of are finishing on the Isle of Bob stream. It was planned like an epic fantasy map, and it turned out to be an epic Isle of Bob map. Well done, everybody. Good job with suggesting names and coming up with ideas. That was fun. Cool. Thanks for your company, guys, and thanks for coming up with, in general, this map idea. If you drew something along, just throw it in Instagram or in our Discord. Maybe we can make Discord work and make it our sharing platform or something like that. But yeah, thanks a lot for the company. I hope you have a I only mentioned my socks today. No, you mentioned Bob a lot also, to be fair. So thanks, guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a nice week, and I will see you all next time. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.